We all have fears. We all doubt, we get anxious, we get worried, we're afraid of other people's opinion. And everybody at some point in life will have the fear of something, fear of not being good enough, fear of not being old enough, young enough, strong enough, tall enough, whatever. We all experience some self doubt on our path to becoming the best version of ourselves. And today's conversation is all about how we build a strong foundation so we can dance with confidence. In a moment, I'm going to bring on a beautiful young lady called Tati, who's a dancer, and she's learnt to dance her way to confidence. Literally, she's a dance instructor. She's starting out with Azunta Box, Adam Kujo, and she's teaching people how to dance their way to confidence. So, what are your fears? What are you? Hi, Marie. Nice to see you, Tati. Let's do this. Come on board. 1 second. Good morning. Good morning at your end. What's holding you back? What's holding you back when you think about building radical confidence? Hi, Tati. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Yeah, I'm well. I'm so excited for your first IG live.
No problem.
Okay, let's jump straight into it, Tati. Listen, sweetheart, everybody, I know you're young still, so you're still finding your way, but even grown women like myself, we all have areas in ourselves that we still worry, we panic, we carry fear. We all want to be confident to be able to step out into the world and courageously attempt all the things that we want to do. We want to die empty, that we lived a full life. We came, we danced, we sang, we enjoyed, we went places, we experienced. But sometimes it's not so easy. Some people are held back by mindset, some people are held back by setbacks in life. And you have a beautiful story, my lady. So why don't you tell everybody about yourself and then we can get into it?
Yes, hi everyone. I'm Tati. I'm 24 years old. I'm from São Tomé, which is an island in Africa and Portugal. I've kind of moved around throughout the years, but I'm now in England, London. And yeah, my life story is very long, but I'm very blessed to have gone through everything.
Great, Tati. So take us back. What was it like for you during your teenage years when you weren't so confident? What was
Oh,
then?
all the reason why I'm laughing is because the thought of it's in a way it makes me nervous, but at the same time it makes me quite happy to
Mhm.
look back and realize the person I have become. When I was younger, so in my teenage years, it was really hard because even nowadays it's hard, but because I have an external factor helping me,
Mhm.
life will become much more joyful. But in my teens, it was very hard because society, all the standards, you
Mhm.
have to keep up with this and you have to keep up with that when it comes to clothing, hairstyle, makeup, you name it.
Yes.
So it was really, really hard because I didn't look a certain way. Or for example, I would be put in the box of you don't look like a typical black girl. Why is your hair different? Why are your lips not as big as Kardashians or whoever? So it was hard. It was very hard. As a teen and not being able to love myself. I always had so much self-doubt saying, okay, why am I not like other girls my age? Why do I not look like this? Why is my body different? Why is my skin color like this? And I had a period of time where I even found it hard to be black. And that's the reality. I found it really hard to be black because I just thought it would have been so much easier to be born white.
Mm.
And that was my mindset at the time. So I think that's what set me back a lot, was thinking, doesn't matter what I do, doesn't matter where I get to, I will never be able to reach my full potential because of my skin color. So yeah, it was really hard. But I think around around George Floyd and the whole riots and everything, that's when I realized the importance and the beauty
Mm.
of being myself, of being black and be able to represent people that are not conventionally, I wouldn't, yeah, it's just not what society expects from you.
Mm.
Yeah, I would say that's the kind of the beginning.
The
Not
beginning.
delve too much into it just yet.
Thank you for sharing that. And as another Black woman, I totally get what that's like. That in our teenage years, it felt like an inconvenience to be Black, just
Yeah.
because we're growing up in an area that's predominantly of people that don't look like us, and if they do look like us, it's not necessarily celebrated. Things are different now. I have to say, things are different from my
Yeah.
time to when I was 23. Things are. I would still say it's a little bit easier, but it's interesting to hear that you still talk about, the younger generation still find some
Yeah.
racism or being compared and not looking like certain Black people. I know what that's like because where I grew up, people question why I even talk the way I talk,
Mm.
and I didn't sound like Black people, and all sorts of silly things. It's crazy. It's really crazy.
Crazy. Yeah.
But okay, so then I'm so humbled by still at an early age for you to go through that. So what was the turning point for you? What I know that you said it was the Floyd, Black Lives Matter
Yeah.
thing, but personally, because you saw that as an external factor, but personally for you, what was the rock bottom moment that you said, oh no, I've got to find a new mindset. I've got to find a new identity.
I think it was a ton of events. I don't think it was one single thing that really got me, the turning point. I think it was so I think BLM was a catalyst. So that's when it started. I started questioning things and saying, why? Why do I have to abide to these standards? Why do I have to hate myself? And then obviously I'm looking at my sibling and my cousins who are way younger than me, and they also finding it hard to be themselves in their own skin. So I think it was a catalyst. Things started slowly getting there and getting there and getting there until I thankfully I actually found God again. So that's when I ignite my flames for God. And I think that's from that moment on. So this was 2023 January. So that's when I really told myself, okay, I'm going to give it my all and see what happens. Throw
Okay.
myself out there and then see what happens. And I think that's the beauty as well of finding God for yourself and not finding God through being pushed into it or being thrown at it. Through getting this relationship with Him slowly, slowly, I learned that, I have a value. My skin color is not what makes me more or less valuable. So I think, yeah, so through God, I think that's when I started to see myself differently, started looking at myself and saying, wow, like not even if you look at statistics, not that many people in the world have the chromosomes I have. So yeah, small things like this is what really got me to renew my mindset.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I think that was like I said, it wasn't like a main thing. It was just
it
a
was a
build up.
process.
Build up of things. Because this is
Process.
like years. I'm 24 now. If I'm not, and I've only fully accepted myself as at 23, so not long ago. So
Um, there's so many lies that, as you said, external factors build can give you as a choice of identity, right? But it's only by having an encounter with God and a personal relationship with God that I find we get to know our true identity and our true self.
absolutely.
And we're talking about building a strong foundation to dance with confidence, Katy. But somebody's watching now, they're a younger version of what you were. So let's say like 2023, what are you, 22 now? And you said you found God. Where did you find God? How did you find God? And where can they go to look to find God?
Ooh, this is a loaded question. So I've grown up Christian.
Mhm.
Um, so it's not like I didn't know about God. I had known of God. I had heard of God. I had heard stories. I had read the Bible, not fully, but I had seen bits and pieces. Um, but then again, it's like how can I explain? Especially as a youngster, because I'm 24, starting to get a little bit old, but as a young person, you always want to try it all and say, well, I've done this, I've done that, I've done this, and you want to fit in, definitely. And I would be sitting here and lying to you if I said sometimes I was comparing myself and saying, oh, I wish I had done this so I could know and say, well, I've done it, but I either liked it or I didn't like it. So for me, it was a matter of, yes, I've heard of God, but at the same time, I wanna live my life freely. At the end of the day, I have free will. Isn't And I think that's what a lot of people get. That's the misconception a lot of people get. Is, well, God gave me free will. I can do whatever I want. Yes, but it doesn't mean that it will benefit you mentally, spiritually, physically. And God is aware of that, and hence why He always waits on you to come to Him. Um, so yes, growing up, I was just, I would have my moments where I would be like, okay, you know what? I believe today. I believe strongly because maybe I need Him. Maybe I reached a point in my life where I said, I can't do this anymore. So all I have left is belief. I've had really low moments where, due to illness and crazy, crazy things happening, where all I had was God. Although it was for a short moment of time, it still helped me. But at the same time, deep inside, I always told myself, I'm not even that important. There's so many people out there who need Him more, so I'm wasting His time. So that was my thought process, was I'm wasting God's time. Why am I asking Him, please help me with this, please help me with that, when other people are out there dying, or other people are there, famished. So I always thought I'm not that important anyway. So yeah, growing up, it was always I believe you, but I just can't do it. I'm sorry, I can't do it because I want to try things. I want to live life, and I just feel like, I'm not, that important for you to prioritize me. So that was my mindset. And then as I grew older, life got harder, obviously, because you start working, other people are going to university. So life is really, that's the beginning of like your adult life. And it was really hard. It was really hard. And I remember always telling myself, I wish I would stop this, because I used to curse a lot. That's one of the biggest things. I used to curse all the time because I just find it was, I would just frustrate. I'll just release it all. But in the back of my mind, I always had the mindset of, I wish I could stop it for God. Why? I had the mindset at the time. I didn't know why. Now I understand, and I'll get to it. But I didn't understand why I was having those thoughts. Why would I say I should stop for Him when deep down I was telling myself I'm not even that important? So it's more things like this that start making me question myself and saying, what do I actually want? Oh, I'm from Sao Tome, which is an island in Africa, and Portugal.
I think Carlos might speak Portuguese.
Oh,
That's why he's asking. Tati, I love what you're saying, right? As any age, but particularly teenagers is stronger. We always want to belong. We want to belong in crowd. We want to belong in conversations, what they're wearing, where they're going, what they're up to. But there's nothing in there, right? It's empty. And as children brought up with Christian parents, we go to church with them, right? But we're going to church for our parents and not for us. And like you, at some point, I decided to follow Christ for myself. So I did the Alpha course. Do you know what the Alpha course is? It's like a Christian course from the beginning. Because although I've been passively sitting in church, Sunday school, maybe there was always a Bible in my house, but I didn't really know what Christianity was all about and what it was to have faith for myself. So I identify with that and the need for you to do that. But what I want to ask you is, if somebody's watching right now and they're struggling to break free from the chains of wanting to belong, right? Because God is waiting for you to come to Him. What did you do to separate from the current cool crowd to now being this girl that doesn't curse? And we're going to come to building strong foundation to dance with confidence, because I want to talk about your dancing as well.
Oh, yeah. That's a hard one, because I genuinely believe that everyone will have their own journeys and their own ways. But personally, it was about being consistent, persevering as well, and longing and wanting to, craving. I think that, the key word is craving, because December 2022, that's when I said, okay, you know what, in the new year, I'll try harder. I'll give it my all, because if you have nothing, you might as well just believe. So I said, you know what, I'll give it my all, and whatever happens, I'll accept it. So January came, I said, you know what, I need to get to the bottom of this, but I didn't know how to. So then I took a step back and I said, okay, I know of God. I've heard your stories. I've heard your doings. And I know your people. But I don't know you like that. But before I get to know you, I need to know myself. What do I have in me? And why am I the way I am? Why have I been hurt? Why have I been depressed? Why have I been suicidal? So I needed to take a step back. And when I tell you I was humbled,
Powerful question.
I cried so much. I've cried so much. Not in a bad way, but in a way of releasing all this negative baggage I was carrying over my shoulders. So I remember, I even threw it out away anyway. I had a journal where I took a step back and I said, okay, let me go through something that really hurt me in the past. Something that maybe I have moved on from, or something that I think I have moved on from. Let me go back and analyze it. So I took it, I sat down, I put some worship music, and I said, okay, this is going to be my therapy lesson now. I wrote down, and I'll be very open, and I even tell you what it was. So I had been really hurt by men in my life, romantically. So I said, okay, I need to get to the bottom of this. Why did this happen? Because I always ask myself why. But I didn't ask, what did I do? What input did I have in this situation? I always ask, why did you hurt me? Why did you do this? Why did you do this? What have I done? So I sat down, I wrote the person's name, and I said, Pros, what was good? All the good memories we had. Cons, what happened? What went wrong? He did this, he said this, and this hurt me. And I put it in bold. What have I done? What happened?
Power.
Well, and I said, okay, I was this, I was that, I was support. Okay. What have I done wrong? And I tell you, I was sitting there thinking, I didn't do anything wrong. I was nothing but caring. But was I? Could I have communicated better? 100%. So I put it there. Communication. Could I have been clearer? 100%. Put it there. That one time I said this one thing, how did I say, what was my tone? I put it down. Small things, because I was thinking, surely I didn't do anything wrong. But no, I had. And it was only when I actually started to look at the paper and seeing all the things I said, wow. So it wasn't just a one person thing. We both took part in it and we hurt each other. But the main thing was really sitting and seeing, wow, there's a lot I need to work on, and it starts now. So I did that for a few situations. Okay, this situation happened. What went well? What went wrong? How can I improve it? Will I ever allow this to happen again? Yes. Why? No. Why? And from there, I think that's when everything skyrocketed. Because I had the evidence in front of me. Tati was not the person I thought I was. I thought I was such a bubbly, amazing person. But then when I looked down, I said, I have so much I need to work on. So then I said, you know what? Okay, we're going to start now. So then I laid all the papers in front of me. I looked at them and I said, where do I start? And that's when I went to God and I said, where do you want me to start? He said, okay, check. How do you talk to people? How's your tone? How do you present yourself? I said, ooh, I'm cursing. I'm being rude. I'm giving people attitude. I'm just kissing my teeth. He said, check that. How would you feel if someone would like that to you every day? I said, me. If someone would like that with me, I'll I'll respond back with the same energy. He said, well, that's the problem. That's the problem. You need to humble yourself. Then I said, wow, that's hard. Like, how do I do that? And then I remember I read Matthew in the Bible, right? I read Matthew, and there was just something so beautiful about the way Matthew wrote about Jesus Christ. And I said, wow, Jesus is actually amazing. The way he spoke, all the parables, everything it resonated with me. I said, it felt like he's talking to me. And he was, but I didn't know that then. So slowly I started thinking, okay, how can I be like Jesus? Because Jesus is amazing. How can I be like him? Look at my notes. Look at what Jesus done. What can I do to improve? So that's honestly, that's where it all changed. Because then I started seeing myself from a third person point of view, and I started realizing all the flaws I had. But the best part was that the father, to him, those weren't flaws. He saw it as, you know, a project that is ready to be made. You know, when you're in school, the only reason why I'm saying this is because I'm a teacher as well. You're ready, your children are ready, they have all the resources in front of them. All they have to do is take it step by step and then organize it, design it, make it, evaluate it. That's all I had to do. And that's all God was waiting for me to do. Sit down, design it, make it, evaluate it. And I had done that. So my advice to people, if you're finding it really, really hard because you've heard of Christ, or who knows, you might be going through a really hard time, is take a step back and think, who is X person? What do people think about me? Am I the amazing person I think I am? Am I the bubbly person I think I am? Taking those steps back and really writing it down and seeing it for yourself, it will change everything. And then compare it to the Bible teachings. And then you will see what you can and you cannot improve. So I think that's what helped me a lot. Yeah, definitely.
Wow, Tati, you completely take my breath away with everything that you shared. First of all, I want to thank you for your willingness to be vulnerable and to share so deeply and so richly the way you've just done now. Rosie's put in the chat that she loves that now. She loves what you've said and she loves your self-reflection. You ask yourself so many powerful questions, and something that people struggle with is, you're very right. In any two communication or relationship, there's two people at play. It can't only be one person at fault. And if you're able to put a spotlight on where you went wrong, right? Because that's the only part you can change. You can't change the other person. They're even out of your life, but you can change you. And to be able to look at it from a truthful lens, to say, how did I collaborate with this relationship? Where did I go wrong? How did I contribute to being treated a certain way or spoken to a certain way? And more importantly, how can I make changes so that I can become a better version of me and that doesn't happen to me again? And I love that you're also benchmarking your standards or your greatness with Jesus and asking, what would Jesus do, or what would Jesus say? And how you can be that in the world, Tati. And you're absolutely right. You are that bubbly, beautiful person, and I'm so excited for this next chapter of your life. And I know you're not going to waste your pain, because you're going to be teaching young people. Young people need to see somebody like you who isn't defensive and wearing armors and covering up, but open to say, hey, listen, I messed up, but that mess wasn't a mess. It was a project. I love that you said project. And it was the level one of the project, and the project is only going to get better from here onwards, which is the project of the life that you're making. So Tati, now you've given us the strong foundation for confidence, which is, being rooted in faith, being rooted in the truth of who you are, having a clear identity about, how you want to step into the world and the example you want to be. Tell us how this led you to becoming a dance teacher and your passion for dance.
Yeah, all I have to say first of all is by the grace of God. And I rest my case right there, because nothing would have happened without him, honestly. My life has turned 360, and every day is a new discovery for me at this point. But yeah, as a child, I always loved dancing. I remember this one time, Jesus loves you, amen, you too. Yeah, I remember when I was young, maybe about 6, 7 years old. I dislocated my toes because I was in the kitchen pretending I was a ballerina, and then I hit it. It was crazy, but that was one of my cool first memories of loving to dance. I just loved it. It just made me feel good, and I think dance to me is a way to distress. Is a love language as well, I feel. Um, yeah, I just feel fueled by the energy, because obviously music, every genre is different. So with every beat and every rhythm, my body just gets to relax, and then it's a way to communicate with other people as well. Because what I try to do a lot is when I'm dancing, I want to create a story. I want you to be able to look at me and enjoy it and see, ooh, okay, I see where she's coming from. But yeah, so I've always really loved dancing, always, obviously, especially as a palette person, which is someone. So there's a few countries in the that are called palop. So the countries that were colonized by Portugal, we all have a very similar culture. And it's very usual for us to dance at parties, and then the family will tell you, "Oh, if you dance, I'll give you €5," and I'm like, "Yay! I'm here." So I always enjoyed dancing. But the main how we actually started was when I was in Luxembourg. So I lived in Luxembourg for 10 years, from 2011, yeah, 2011 to 2020, 21. And I got introduced to a genre called K-pop, which is Korean pop. And if within K-pop, they have all kinds of genres you can imagine. So basically, they put it all together, they compressed it, and they made their own genre. And I found it interesting because I found it beautiful how they not only sang but they danced, and then they had all these music videos, and it was exciting. It was something new. So I started dancing with my friend, my best friend at the time, and it was just a way of passing time. Like it was between lunch breaks in school, and it was fun. It was joyful, and it was peaceful as well. And then one day I said, you know what, I let me do a dance class and just see what happens. It was just throwing myself out there and then see what happens. And I think that's one big thing as well. I feel that people should stop doubting themselves so much. Throw yourself out there and then see what
Yeah.
happens. Because if you never do, you'll be your whole life with a question mark in your head. What would have happened if don't give yourself ifs. Just do it and then see what happens. And then whatever happens, if it's good for you. Amen. But and if it doesn't go so well, at least you have a life experience you can share with other people.
And you can
So
always improve from there. You can always
I did that. So I threw myself out there, and then I did a workshop. It went really well. It was amazing, and I was not that great of a dancer at the time, which is quite funny looking back. But it was a passion I had that made it so good.
so you have
Because
a
my dancing skills,
yeah.
yeah, my dancing skills were not amazing. And until this day, I don't believe I'm an amazing dancer. I'm just a dancer who enjoys what she's doing.
It's not true, guys. She's a great dancer. I've been lucky to be in your class. And you're an amazing dancer. And I tell you why you're an amazing dancer. It's the energy that's flowing through you. It is like a storyteller. Even though you're with the group, you're choreographing and trying to demonstrate for us to pick up the moves. I felt your story. I felt like this girl has something to say, and she's saying it right here to us. It was emotional, it was all expressive, it was joyful, it was all of it. So, Tati, it's not really about being great, it's about being great at standing in your truth and sharing and celebrating with everybody.
Absolutely.
So where can people join your class? Where's your next upcoming class?
Oh yes, so my next upcoming class is on the 16th of March at Base Studios from 5:30 to 7 p.m. Yes, I do live in London now. And yes, I'll be doing an Azonto Box mix with Afro House. Afro House, for those that don't know, is actually an Angolan genre. And yeah, it will be fun. It will be definitely a lot of energy. Like you said, those that know me, you know that energy will be there. I'll be jumping up and down, up and down. But yeah, going back to how it all started. Yeah, so then from the workshop, I had a lot of people always coming every Saturday to this dance studio I was in, and everyone was kind of just doing their own thing. And I told myself, you know what would happen if, there you go, if I started dancing? So I did it. Then I started recruiting people. I started inviting people to come to my dance group, and obviously, being at the level I was at that time, I told myself I'll just accept anyone. I don't care if you can barely move and you have no rhythm. I said, come as you are, just like Jesus. Come as you are, and then we'll see through the process you will change. And it happened like that. So as I started the dance group, obviously I was made the leader of the group, so I had a lot of things to do. I had a lot to plan, and then had to find choreographies that fits us. So basically, the choreographies in K-pop, they're already made. All we have to do is learn the dance and then replicate it and then film it. It's a big thing, honestly. but it's still really hard work because you need to synchronize people, and if people can't really dance and have the rhythm, it's hard. But then again, I took a step back. It's funny how, looking back, I always see myself taking a step back and analyzing what's around me before I'm able to advance. So that's what I did. So I took a step back and I said, okay, you don't have that much rhythm. Let's work on rhythm. You struggle with stage presence. Let's work on stage presence. And because I was teaching them things I didn't know, I ended up learning because I had to do research. I need to know how to teach these people because they're counting on me. So that's how it all started. So we started dancing and then rehearsing. We started working really hard. And then one thing for sure, it didn't take a month. It didn't take 2 months. It took years. But we got to a point where we were able to travel to Germany, perform, and we won 3rd place in our first ever competition.
Wow.
That's how we started. And
practice
the girls,
progress, huh?
yeah, definitely. And the girls, if you were to watch their videos today, you would never know that they were non-dancers in the beginning because they've come such a long way. It took years of practice. And even myself, when I look at my old videos, I'm shocked. But I'm very, very, very happy, very proud.
The progress you made. So if somebody's watching Tati and they're like, I've got 2 left feet, I can't dance. Can you teach anybody and everybody to dance?
Absolutely. I'm fearless. I'm absolutely fearless. But when it comes to dance, I believe that everyone can dance, but you need to know yourself, and the person that's teaching you, they need to know you as well. So if someone has 2 left feet, we're just going to start with that. I'll put on a song and I'll teach you, okay, this is the rhythm. Okay, bounce to it, bounce to it, bounce to it. Okay, 1 step, 2 step. And then, so we're dissecting the song, but I'm also dissecting your moves, your ability to hear the song, and your ability to move synchronized. So we would start with that. Right. And that's the beauty of dance, and that's the beauty of teaching dance. You can start from all the way here, but you can also start from all the way here, and it's okay.
And then one of the biggest fears people have is to be seen. Like, be seen in public, be seen on stage, be seen because we all start at 0, right? We all got to start somewhere. So when you watch videos of your past to where you are now, like, you can admire that young girl, but you're a lot better now. But some people don't want to start at the point of 0 where you're not that good yet. What do you say to people who are afraid to step into just being not good enough yet, but start somewhere, especially with dancing?
We all start somewhere. The best dancers, they didn't start from being the best dancers. Some of them took years of training. Some of them started when they were children. So, for example, if I'm talking to an adult now, you can't compare yourself to someone who started as a child. There'll be a big difference, a big disadvantage for you, but it's never too late. So today might be your day to actually start and say, you know what? It might take a long time, but I'm going to give it my all. And even when it comes to being seen, because people might feel embarrassed and say, oh, people will judge me. I think that's the best way of saying it. So what? People will judge you regardless. Yeah. People judge Jesus. So why wouldn't they judge us? So no matter what you do, you will be judged. You could be the greatest dancer, you could be a prime minister, you could be a lawyer. People will still come and they will judge you. Unfortunately, that's the reality of this world. We always have some people, some trolls, some haters coming to you. But it's about you, center yourself and then tell yourself, well, I have to start somewhere. And it's okay. If I mess up, get yourself up together, continue, start again. And it's okay. There'll be, personally as well, from where I started to where I am now, I've had so many downfalls. I would see progress and then I would stop because I'm thinking, I'm good enough. And then I'll go back and I'm like, oh no, it's terrible. And then, it's about picking yourself up because you start here, you go up, you stop, you might fall. But next time you start again, you go higher, you keep going higher. You just don't see it yet.
That's so true.
And also, one of the best tips I could ever recommend is film yourself. Day 1, day 2, day 3. Even if you do it once a week, it's fine. Even if you do 10 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day, doesn't matter. Film yourself. Record, just keep it there. Watch it 1 month later, sit down and say, okay, let me go through my videos. Day 1 compared to day 30. And I'll tell you right now, you'll be shocked. You'll be so shocked.
Yes. That's the thing, isn't it? So many people start things. So as coaches, we're always talking about people starting goals and dreams, particularly in the new year, and then falling
Oh.
off because it's hard or I'm not getting good. But actually, tracking is really important because maybe you're not Beyonce level because she's been doing it since she was a little girl,
Mhm.
but you're way better than 2 weeks ago when you first started. At least you can even hear the rhythm, which is still progress.
Yeah.
Which is still progress. So, Katy, what was something about dancing and confidence in dancing that you wish you knew 5 years ago, 10 years ago?
So when it comes to dancing and confidence in dancing, that's a hard question because I feel that it touches upon so many different areas within dancing and your own confidence and everything. Um, yeah, it's hard because I'll I'll say it again. You will have to take a step back once again. You'll definitely. I think in my life, what I do a lot is I reflect.
Reflection
Yeah,
is good.
reflection and reflection practice. Yeah, it's that's such a hard question actually. Um,
Well, you've answered it.
I think,
Reflection. Take a
yeah,
step back, have a look at what you've done,
I
and
think you should also maybe find a role model because when I started, obviously I had dancers I looked up to,
who
and
were
I
your
still
role models? Who were
sorry.
your role models?
Oh, there's a Japanese dancer, really big Japanese dancer called Ricky Maru. He's amazing, and he does quite a lot of Brazilian genres, and it's quite fun. Ricky Maru, I have Willie Noir, which is he's a mainly Afro house Kuduro dancer as well. Yeah, and I had Jenny, I forgot her second name, but Jenny, she's a big Afro beats, and I think it's some kind of Congolese genre as well. So I had some people I could look at and say, okay, what do I like about them? How does their body move that way? Because I think that one thing with the dancers, if you're at a certain level, you have your own style of dancing. That's the main thing. And I think what I did a lot was compare myself to dancers and say, well, he did this. Why am I doing this? And then I was thinking, okay, what's the difference? What has he done that I haven't done? And then I also had to realize that, for example, my upper body is very tight. My muscles are very tight. I'm so inflexible for a dancer. It's actually shocking. So I had to realize that, and that's I think what helped me with my confidence because I thought, "Oh, I can't do it. You know what? I'll just give up. I can't do it because he did this and I'm doing this. Why?" But then when I started realizing, I said, "Wait a minute, he can do this, but I can't do it because if I do it, it hurts." Then that's when I started realizing my body wasn't made in that way. And then again, he's a man as well. Why am I comparing a
Not a fair
woman's body with my
comparison,
body?
right? Yeah.
Yeah. So then I really had to think, okay, so my body moves like this and his moves like this. But what if I do this? So what? It's not like people know what the choreography looks like anyway. And if I deliver it the way my body can do it, it's still going to be effective. And that's when I start to see the progress and the confidence come in. Don't compare yourself to others because your body is different. Your flexibility is definitely going to be different. You might be looking up to the wrong person. That person might be a man or a woman. And then obviously your body, the anatomy is completely different. You can't expect the same things, and that's okay. And then I also had to realize where my style is within
Fine.
the
Right.
world of dance,
Yes.
because a dancer might make a move so big, and I might not do it because my style is to make it slow, just small, and that's okay because that's the beauty of dance. Dance is a language. Every language is different, but the meaning is still going to be the
Yeah.
same.
I love
So,
that's so beautiful. Daisy's put in there that I need to post my first video on TikTok. I have a few role models.
please, please.
Daisy, post it and
Yeah,
send
definitely.
Tati and I a message to say you've done it. We want to hold you accountable. Post it. I'll post it on my stories if you post it and tag me, okay? But do it, don't hold back.
Yeah,
Tati, you touched on so
definitely.
many important things, right? In this world, we're always trying to imitate, copy,
Yeah.
exactly what somebody else is doing, but we're all built completely differently. I can't speak the way you're speaking because my voice is completely different from yours. So how can I completely contort my body in your same way? Because we've got two different body shapes. But it's about doing what you can with yours. And when you do, you create your own signature and you find your style that's equally worth celebration. And that's why I'm so happy that you're on this journey, you're on this path, because you're doing radically you, which is making you super confident, and you're empowering other people to come and join you, copy what they can, and celebrate the greatness in themselves. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Great conversation. And I see it as a beginning of many conversations. Guys, if you don't follow Tati, she's right here on Instagram. Tell them what your link handle is again.
TatyCravid. Tati Cravid.
Tati Cravid right here. So I'll add your link in at the bottom of this post. And if you have any questions about dancing, learning to dance, joining her class,
I'm very open.
Send her a DM, but you're going to see loads more of Tati on here. Tati, you're an absolute inspiration. Do you have any closing words for people watching you today?
Be happy.
Perfect. Do you be happy. You can't get better than that. And when you do that, and as she says, you do it Jesus' way, you build a strong foundation to have a platform where you can dance this life with confidence. There's going to be many things that come your way. There's going to test you, challenge you. But the most important thing is to be rooted in faith in yourself, faith in the divine, faith in God, faith in whatever it is. And you can certainly dance any situation with confidence. Sending you lots of love, Tati. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone who joined this live and everybody watching the replay. And as I said, go follow Tati. She's a bright young star and I can't wait to see where she goes from here. Tati, you have to end with one dance move. Can you teach people one move? What's an easy one that they can do with you right now?
I'll do an upper body one. So for the people, I'm gonna make it very simple. We're gonna go right shoulder first to the front, and then the left shoulder back, and then we switch, and then we switch, and we switch. Okay, and now it's just about adding a little bounce to it. Hey, hey, and then you can add your arms as well. Hey, hey, head nod. Hey.
That's excellent. Lots of fun. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for being here. Tati, have a beautiful evening and see you very soon. Take care.
Bye everyone.
Bye. Bye.